what do we have? Four students. And Scott, if you'd come up too, please, if you're Scott. So these guys were in the first group of students that enrolled at Universal Music Center 10 years ago. And yeah, let's give a nice round of applause. They've all gone on to do great things with their lives and with their music, and I thought it would be nice to meet them and hear a little bit about what they're doing now, and you know, just talk a little bit. So we're going to start off with, I'll start off here with Brooke, okay? This is Brooke Elizabeth, okay? And yeah, give her a big, you know her. Everybody knows Brooke. And well, Brooke, what were you about? 13 or something when you first came to us?
Yeah, I think 13 or 14, 8th grade, whatever their age that is.
Yeah, and tell us a little bit about what you're doing now, okay?
Yeah, so I live in the cities now and gig out there, still writing a bunch of songs. I record with Tommy Barbarella, which is kind of my biggest thing right now. He is very established musician and used to play with Prince and a bunch of other amazing artists, so it's really cool to work with somebody like that. And we have some new things we're working on right now, some new songs that'll be out in the next couple of months. All of my music can be found on Spotify, Apple Music, just under Brooke Elizabeth. So yeah, it's been really exciting to just continue my music journey and keep performing out and writing and everything.
And Brooke, didn't you have a song in rotation on an FM music station in California?
Yeah, I did. I think it was You and Me off my most recent EP I released last summer.
And what else are you doing? I think it might be music related, but outside of performance. Aren't you studying? So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I originally was going to Augsburg for music therapy and kind of revamped that. And I'm studying psychology through Southern New Hampshire University, which kind of just allows me to continue doing like my music and focusing on that while also, you know, going to school. So I've been really busy, but it's all great.
And working with musicians, you'll have a lot of opportunity to analyze with your psychology degree.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting after you study everything. You're kind of just like really thinking about that as you are.
Oh, fantastic. Tell us a little bit about, yeah, let's give all that a big round of applause. That's well deserved. Yeah. How has UMC helped you when coming here? Is it, have we been of any help to you over the years?
Yeah. When I first came here, I mean, aside from just like the performance aspect and like confidence in general with performing in music, it's also just like good in life in general. Like I'm more confident talking to people and like going into other music industry situations, like being in the studio with musicians and being able to communicate like what I want it to sound like and just everything like that. And Mark has helped a ton with that as well, and Mike, like so much of the business aspect of it and just like knowing how to talk to people in the music industry and like sharing your ideas and being upfront about everything and performance and just like so many aspects of music I just see, you know, stemming from UMC. So it kind of all started here, so it's cool to just continue watching that grow, and I'm happy to be here for 10 years and to celebrate that all.
Fantastic. It's starting to happen. Brooke Elizabeth, ladies and gentlemen, give her a gigantic round of applause. Thank you, Brooke. Thank you. I want to move down here to this young man right here who is a great example of someone that, whoop, I'm going to start feeding back. Anybody know who this is? This is Scott McNerlin. He's our former Goodhue County Sheriff for many, many years. And he retired and decided to play drums. He played drums 35 years ago and decided that he wanted to get going again. And he came to us, and he's in several bands right now. And I wanted to include Scott in this because he's a great example of, we have many, many adult students too that are doing the same thing, you know, that are deciding that they want to start playing, you know, they're retiring, they've got the guitar in the back of the closet, you know, and it's time to get it out and go again. So, Scott is a great example of someone that's doing that and doing great things with it. So tell us a little bit about what you're up to these days, Scott.
Well, as Mike said, I'm retired, so I have a lot of time, and one of the things I decided to do when I retired was invest back into music. I played a lot of music as a young man in my teens and into my 20s, but my career did not allow me to do that. I had weekends, holidays, and evenings were all taken by my job. So as I got older and I started looking towards the horizon, those of you who are my age and looking at retirement or are retired know that you have to occupy yourself with something productive. And I couldn't think of anything really more productive and more interesting than getting back into music. And mine kind of came, I met Mike when the Universal Music Center first opened at a Rotary meeting. And back then I thought, what an opportunity for this community to have a resource like this. Mostly you see this in major metropolitan areas. You don't see this in a rural community, at least to the level that this center can provide. These are world-class musicians that are offering local people the opportunity to reinvest in the music career, which is where I came in. I was 50 some years old at the time I contacted Mike because my church, on our praise and worship team, our drummer was a teenage man and he was going to college, and so they were looking for a drummer. I hadn't drummed for 35 years. And then I'll tell you, it's not like riding a bike. And I called Mike in a panic, honestly, and said, I'm in a pinch here. I told this praise and worship team leader that I would drum, and he was gracious enough to say, come in and we'll get you started. And he worked with me and gave me the confidence to show me that I wasn't too old to reinvest in this career, that I can still learn things. And here I am at 60 years of age, still taking lessons. Jay's back there. I just started lessons with him not too long ago. I've taken bass guitar lessons through UMC and learned to play the bass proficiently enough to play in church in 3 months. And I took guitar lessons from Mark Warple. Mark's in here as well. And everyone knows that he's a phenom. And I've learned things from these musicians, not only about the instrument itself, but about the business of music, that I could never get anywhere else. Even in my associations now with other musicians, I play in 3 different bands, and I'm interacting in the industry all the time. I have not learned as much from all those interactions that I have from these individuals, who have not only taken their time to show me what to do on the instrument, but to explain to me the nature of how to audition, what to do when you're in certain situations and certain gigs and things of that nature. You can't get that just anywhere, but you can get that here. This is, like I said earlier, a phenomenal resource for this area.
Thank you, Scott. Big round of applause for Scott McMurray. Thank you so much. This next young man is Riley Gulata, and Riley was in that first group of students that enrolled at Universal Music Center. And let's see, I think you just started playing guitar when you came to us. I don't know if you had a lot of experience, but
I have not had any formal education of the guitar before I came to UMC.
Yeah.
UMC was my first actual guided instructional experience when it came to music.
Well, tell us a little bit about what you're up to now, what you've been doing, and give us an update of what you're doing.
Sure. I had the opportunity to play for a couple summers at Valley Fair. I did a contract with Carnival Cruise Lines. I'm currently playing with local artists like Grayson DeWolf, Frederick the First, band called Dirty Word. It's hard to think of everything that you do in the moment.
Aren't you doing, you do a lot of weddings and play
Yes.
private parties and things like that? That's on a very high scale that you're doing that as well.
Yeah, weddings, and that's primarily where I end up making my living, is through weddings and events of that nature.
Fantastic. How has UMC helped you in your journey?
UMC was the bridge that I needed to actually get out of my bedroom and start playing with people. And I cannot stress enough how...
Go ahead, give him a round of applause, it's great.
I cannot stress enough how important it is to just get together with people and play. It doesn't matter how good or bad you are, just getting together with people and sucking incessantly. Just keep on doing it, because that is the thing that is going to make you not suck one day. It's just getting together with people and doing it.
Thank you. Big round of applause for Riley Gulata, please. Thank you. All right, Isaac Gadian. Let's have a round of applause for Isaac Gadian. All right? So Isaac first came to us to take drum lessons. And then one day he shows up and says, yeah, I'm gonna start playing guitar. You know, and he picked up a guitar, and like in 2 weeks, I've been trying to play the guitar for 10 years, and in 2 weeks he had me beat all over the place. So this is a very gifted young man. He plays piano, he plays guitar, he plays bass, he sings, he writes his own music. Very, very talented young man. And Isaac, give us a little bit about what you're up to. Tell us what you're doing.
Well, my day job is actually paraprofessional at the Roosevelt High School, but other than that, I play like a ton of music. I have a weekly gig at Bunkers, which is a pretty famous club in the Twin Cities. And then I work for a few companies, I guess, like entertainment companies, same that Riley does. I do a lot of weddings and like corporate events and all sorts of things. But then I do like other gigs on the side because I like to just sit back and play with a looper on like a patio at a restaurant for like 3 hours, and you know, it's really fun. So yeah, I don't know, I just like doing a lot of different things, and right now I'm working on writing a lot. I've been kind of investing in that and taking less gigs and really focusing my energy into getting out what I've been meaning to get out for many years. So yeah.
Fantastic. How about that? Give me a big round of applause. How has UMC helped you along your path?
Well, it goes way beyond just my instrument and just playing with people. I remember from 8th grade, I won't forget this, and every time I talk to someone, every day I kind of think of this. I just remember coming in there as a little 8th grader, all this energy kind of bouncing off the walls, and Mike would talk to me, and I would be like looking everywhere, and I just remember him being so adamant about me looking him in the eye when I talked to him, and that just gives an example about how Mike has helped me and how this program has helped me, and yeah, I'm really thankful for it.
Thank you so much. Isaac, thank you, Isaac. Brian, this is Mason Swanson, okay? Another great young man. He's in the first group of students. So Mason now plays drums, plays guitar, plays bass, sings, you know, is doing great. Tell us a little bit about what you've been up to, Mason.
Yeah, since UMC, I had the chance to study at a couple different colleges, one in St. Paul, and I also went out to Los Angeles to study music. And for a long time after leaving Red Wing, really was always thinking about music, partially because guys like Mike kept me going, made sure I stuck with it. And after that, I got to work for Carnival Cruise Line. I did a contract with Riley. Super awesome experience. Love meeting people, playing with lots of different musicians. Still play around the area now and then. And like Isaac, I've lately in the past years really found a joy in writing music and playing my own music, picking up guitar more, because I think I came to Mike playing drums mostly. Mike kind of helped me step out of my shell and play more bass, play more guitar, sing more, even when I didn't want to. And I'm so thankful for that every day, because being able to sing in front of a crowd, being able to pick up a bass when I need to is absolutely huge.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Mason. Thank you very much. We appreciate it, man. Very proud of you. Thank you. Fantastic. So we're going to hear a little bit from these very gifted musicians, and we're going to bring Brooke up. Brooke, you ready? I think your levels, y'all. Oh, here, hang on. Okay.
Yep.
So you let us know what you're going to play. Tell us a little bit about the song.
Yeah. I'm going to play one of my new originals I was telling you all about a little bit ago. It's called People Pleaser, and I kind of spent most of my life making fun of my sister for being a people pleaser, and kind of realized that I'm a little bit the same way, but it's all good. Hope you guys love it. It's called People Pleaser.
Said you what, I'll take it all in, then I'll cry about it later.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. All right. So next we have a band. We put a band together with the rest of these guys. And Scott, if you want to go get on the drums, put this up. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a Chuck Berry song called Rock and Roll Music. And we're going to get a chance to hear the virtuosity of each one of these guys.
Just let me hear some of that rock and roll music. Any old way you choose it. It's got a backbeat, you can't lose it. Any old time you use it. It's gotta be rock and roll music. If you wanna dance with me. If you wanna dance with me. I have no kick against modern jazz. Unless they try to play it too long fast. Change the beauty of a melody. So it sounds just like a symphony. Why hear all that rock and roll music? Any old way you choose it. If it's got a backbeat, you can lose it. Any old time you use it. It's gotta be rock and roll music. If you want it.
All right. Nice job. Let's hear Verizon. How about that? Very nice. All right. Ready to hear these guys now? Here we go. First, we're going to go to Mason on the bass. Ready, Mason? 1, 2, bass and play now. All right, how about it for Mason? Let's hear it for Mason. Next job. All right, we're going to move over to Riley now. Riley Galato. Really, Riley. You ready, Riley? 1, 2, Riley now. All right, how about that? All right. All right, here we go. Now, back to Scott on the drums. You ready? Officer, are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go now. How about that? Yes, sir.
Just let me hear some of that rock and roll music. Any old way you choose it. If it's got backbeat, you can't lose it. Any old way you use it. It's gotta be rock and roll music. If you wanna dance with me. If you wanna dance with me.
How about it? Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Could not be better. That was great. Thank you so much. Excellent job. Excellent. Thanks. So I'd like to share the story of Universal Music Center right now, how all this came to be. Many years ago, let's say we'll go back at this point, 15 years ago, maybe something like that. I'm from Chicago, and living in Chicago, working as a musician there, and things were getting like, well, I should say this. For 18 years, I played 300 dates a year in Chicago. And I booked all of those. I ran 6 of my own bands. I was writing 60 1099 forms to musicians annually. Prior to that, for 7 years, I played in 3 of the biggest drawing bands in the Chicagoland area. And one of them used to play here at the Caboose all the time. It was Big Twist and the Mellow Fellows. And I used to come up here with Big Twist and play. And it was at the end of my time with Twist that I decided to start my own band and put my own group together, and that began the 18-year period of working 300 dates a year. So things were starting to get, it was starting to wear me down. You know, my big joke back then was that I work 100 hours a week to avoid working 40. So, so it was starting to wear me out, and I thought, you know, I'm playing with all these different groups, with all these different people. Some of it, you know, in those days, if you would have paid me to come to your house with a snare drum and stand in your bathroom and play for an hour, that would have been a gig. That would have been a date in my books. So I was doing all kinds of stuff I wasn't that crazy about doing, but, you know, I stated to my family in the world, I'm a working musician, so I worked at anything I could do to earn money playing drums. So at the end of that period, I decided to try to diversify a little bit. I thought, you know, I'm the only one in town working this much, and I booked all these dates. So I wanted to try to get into sales, into the field of sales. And I got a job with a corporation, and that began a period of, well, there's a funny story about that because I got this job with this company, and it was going to be placing contract computer programmers with corporations. So I had to go to California to train with this company. And this is the end now of my period of 18 years of 300 dates a year. So on a Sunday night, I'm playing this festival in Tinley Park. And the night is winding down, and we're getting to the last song, you know, the last set, and it was going to be the last song and the last set and the last note of the last song, and I'm thinking to myself, this is it. This is the end of my life as a professional musician. Tomorrow, I bought a suit, you know, and a tie and all this, and I'm going to go to California and be a salesman, you know. So it was, you know, probably overly dramatic, but that's what I went through. And so I make this transition, and I come back to Chicago. I'm working. It was going good. You know, the plan was working. It allowed me to do music, take music opportunities that I was interested in. So with the sales job, I didn't have to do every single thing that came my way. I stuck with things that had a little more musical integrity and just stuff that I was interested in. So I'm in this office, and I'm there for about maybe 3 months, you know, and I'm thinking, all right, this is going great, you know, and the phone rings, and I pick it up, and the voice on the other line goes, want to audition for the Lovin' Spoonful? So I'm sitting there going, man, you know, it's dragging me back in. And of course I said, yes, I want to audition for the Spoonful. And so I got that job with the Lovin' Spoonful, and then at that point, you know, I moved to another company. I moved into, with corporations and sales organizations that you only got paid on the commissions on what you sold. So there was flexibility there, so I could go on the road, you know, and as long as I kept my numbers up, I was okay. So that's what was happening. But at the end of that period, I was starting, man, you know, this sales thing is really not what I thought it would be, you know, and you know, it was going okay, but I wasn't really happy. So I had this idea for a music school. Then, my wife Lori had a career opportunity here in Minnesota, and we decided to move here. So we came here, we chose to live in Red Wing, you know, which has been great, a total blessing, which I'll talk a little bit more about later. But I got here, and we bought our house from Tom Brown, and we're closing on the house, and I said to Tom, you know, I'm going to have to generate some income sooner or later. Is there any place I can meet people? So he goes, yeah, the safety meeting. So I said, the safety meeting, okay, yeah, I'll come to the safety meeting. So I'm thinking about safety and all this, you know, and I go to the safety meeting, and I think it was, I'm not sure who, I think it might have been Al Quanstrom from the radio station, pounds his fist down on the table. We met at this Andy's bar up here, you know, and he pounds his fist on the table, he goes, snow tires. So that was the safety meeting, that was the thing. So then we started ordering drinks, and that was the end of the safety meeting. But it was at the safety meeting I met, who is now our mayor, Mike Wilson. Okay? Yeah, let's give Mike Wilson a big round of applause. Mike played music in his life, and we used to talk about being in bands and playing and all, and I told him about this idea I had for this music school. So Mike goes, "You gotta meet Robert Hedin." So I'm like, "Yeah, okay, great, I'll meet Robert Hedin," so he sets the meeting up, and so we come over here. They were building, it was back, they were still building this structure here. And I come to the meeting, and I'm still like cynical from being a salesman in Chicago and all this. So I'm figuring I'm just going to leave my car running. I'm going to go in. The guy's going to tell me, it's a great idea, but not now, but maybe later. I go in and I meet Robert, and Art Kenyon was there. We talked for about an hour and a half, and it was so exciting. And one thing led to another. And thanks to Robert, and thanks to Mike and Carolyn, we're here on the grounds of the Anderson Center. Yeah. I mean, it was one of those things in life where everything led to another meeting. Everything led to, it all worked out. One thing led to the next, and it's just been phenomenal. So that's kind of what happened, just in terms of being here. But after we got set up, I met Bonnie Schock. Bonnie Schock used to be the executive director of the Sheldon Theater. And Bonnie told me, oh, by the way, I should say it was Robert that advised me to be a nonprofit, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And Robert and Carolyn also gave me the opportunity to do a presentation to the community, which we did right down here in the art gallery. So I got to meet a lot of people from that presentation. I met Scott and Ann Jones. I met just a lot of people. It was fantastic. So I asked Robert, I said, well, nonprofit, do you get paid with a nonprofit? And he said, oh yeah, you get paid, So, so I studied it, nonprofit, and figured out I understood what he was advising me, and it was among the best advice that anyone had ever given me. And it was Bonnie that talked to me about writing grants and how to, that the Minnesota State Arts Board had a program that she thought would be a fit for what we're doing. I talked with her about how to write a grant. I got the application. I filled it out, took it to Bonnie. She said, well, let's change this, let's change that. Made a little adjustments, and I was awarded the grant. So that's been happening every year for 10 years. I've gotten the most tremendous support from this community. I thank Robert and Carolyn. I thank the Minnesota State Arts Board, CMAC, the Red Wing Port Authority, the Goodhue County CARES Act. So it's all been so fantastic, and I tell you from the bottom of my heart, I value this stuff, and I'm honored, to be here. And I write these grants with no, you need the money to run a business, but I don't write these grants for the money. I write these grants so that I could keep doing this program, and I could keep trying to help people, and I could keep sharing what I gave my entire life to, So it's funny, you work your entire life and you get these skills and everything, and I gave my son some drum lessons. He took 3 lessons from me and then went off on his own, and he's doing great. But that, I've got all this stuff I want to share, so this has just been a tremendous opportunity. And I'd like to take the opportunity right now to introduce to you some of the phenomenal, or actually all of the phenomenal instructors that have helped me along the way. And I keep saying me, but it's us. We all work together. I'll start with this young man sitting up on the ledge up here. This is Mark Warple. Mark is an unbelievably accomplished musician, composer, songwriter, producer, and a great guy. And he's also a master carpenter and was the lead carpenter on this building when I met him. So, remember that day, Mark? They go, you gotta meet Mark. So, yeah, I got to meet Mark, and it's been so great to know you and become friends with you. Mark, thank you. Thank you for everything you do. Susan Forsyth, where is she? Susan, stand up, please. Susan teaches piano, violin, and cello. So piano and strings for us. Susan has been a member of 6 different symphony orchestras. She's performed on stage with Stevie Wonder, Smokey Robinson, a bunch of Motown artists. Is a tremendously gifted person. She's actually a full-time substitute teacher in the Red Wing public school system here. Yeah, go ahead. which gives her a unique ability to be great with kids. I mean, she is just phenomenal with little kids, you know. So, Susan, can't thank you enough. Blessing to know you. Thank you. Susan Forsythe. Where's Jay? Jay Mercado. Jay, this is a funny story. One day, I see this card up on a bulletin board somewhere in town, and it's got this guy playing drums on it, you know? So I'm like, no, you're not teaching drums, you're gonna... So I called him and I said, well, tell me what you're doing, you know, and he gave me a little bit about his background. I'm like, just come and teach at UMC, you know? Jay is a veteran of two different arms of how would you say it? He's been in the Marines and he's been in the Navy, long stints with both of those organizations. And he played in the bands in both of those branches of the military. So you don't get to do that by being a slouch musician. You know, to get into one of those bands, it is not. And he did it for two branches of the military. He's a great guy, tremendously talented, tremendously gifted, teaches guitar and drums for us. Jay, stand up one more time, please. Jay Mercado. I'd like to thank the person that is my right hand, and here I go. So very important, my wife Lori Newbert. Lori, thank you so much for all you do. Lori is the one who sends you your invoices, so I know you all love Lori. So she's been so tremendously integral in this whole organization with helping me, she's organized the whole thing. So just really great, and I feel so grateful to you, Lori, for all you do and how hard you work for this and believing in it. So, and then Claire is not here today, but Claire Lorraine does all our social media, and she does a tremendous job. So we are just so blessed and so happy to have this great team with Universal Music Center. And I'd like to give another round of applause for all of them, all of the people that work with Universal Music Center do a fantastic job. At this point, our programs have evolved quite a bit. You know, we started out with just 2 programs. Now we offer songwriting, we offer recording, we offer live performance opportunities. When the pandemic hit, I thought up of a concept called a virtual concert. So what we did during the height of the pandemic was bring students in one at a time. And it was just me and my GoPro here and the student in the Universal Music Center, so it was safe. And we would record individual performances, and then Claire would assemble it into an actual concert performance that we would present through our website and through YouTube. So we did the virtual concerts. We have live opportunities. When we first started, we were getting asked to come to all kinds of events in the community to bring some students. You know, you want to bring some students to play music, and it's it's just been great. So we've tried to work really hard to be a member of the community and to do good things with and for the community. I personally do a lot of social emotional arts learning programs. I teach out at the Juvenile Correctional Facility. I work with all kinds of populations, people with mental and physical challenges. I work with seniors, memory care, at-risk youth, underserved populations, and I'm very proud of all that work that I'm doing. And I'm trying to, again, just to do good things for the community. So that's kind of our story, and I'd just like to say here's to 10 more years. Thank you so very much, everybody. Yeah. Thank you. There are a couple other thank yous I want to mention now while we're doing this. Some of the foundations I mentioned: the Minnesota State Arts Board, the Red Wing Shoe Foundation, the Hedin Family Foundation, the Red Wing Port Authority, Goodhue County Cares Act, and the Anderson Center. I thank all of those great organizations for all of the support and help that you've given us. Our board, I want to thank our board members. Art Kenyon. Art, you're here, aren't you? Where's Art? There he is. Art Kenyon. Thank you, Art. Thank you, the first board member. Just great. Thank you for all you do. Lori's on the board. Another nice round of applause for Lori. Tim McKim is on our board. Levon Kay was a board member. Becky Thompson was a board member. Mark Warple is now a board member. Fantastic. And Paul Cargo. Those are all the members of our boards, past and present. I want to certainly make a personal thanks to our mayor, Mike Wilson. Without your generosity, I wouldn't be standing here. So thank you, Mike. Thank you so much. Certainly want to thank Robert and Carolyn Hadeen. You guys are tremendous. Carolyn guided me on so many business things. Robert gave me so much guidance. You know, it's just been so great and so helpful. Thank you. Thank you to you. Thank you so very much. Want to thank Win Von Bargen. Is Win here? Win and Lou. Win did all the drywall and cut all the trim, you know, for Universal Music Center. Lou, I want to thank Win and Lou. Thank you so much. Linda Wilson, I'm not sure if Linda's here, but she helped us get off the ground. Barb Clare is here. Barb, where's Barb? Thank you, Barb. Barb painted all that artwork. Robert gave me the old construction fence. That they had a fence, a wooden fence, you know, when they bought this property. So we took all these pieces of fence and turned Lori loose with my brother's handsaw, and she made all these various shapes, and we gave her an air staple gun, and she put all these figures together, and Barb helped paint all that stuff. So thank you, Barb, you know, thank you for all that you've done too. I want to thank Claire Lorraine. I want to thank Paul Zeig. Paul helped me through all the legal stuff, getting ready. Merlin Berg, I think Merlin is here, isn't he? Where's Merlin? There he is. Merlin just did our new carpeting. Thank you, Merlin. My brother Matt Arturi, my cousin Tommy, we did all the frame out. I designed the floor plan. My brother Matt, my cousin Tommy and me did all the frame out. Wynn did the drywall and the trim with his great daughter and Lou. So I want to thank my daughter Emily. Emily designed our logo and did a lot of graphic art stuff for us in the very beginning. I want to thank Steve, the general manager from Menards, from our Red Wing Menards, who gave us a 10% discount on everything we were doing when we started. So Steve has just been a great supporter, and it's just been so cool to get to know him and spend money in this community too. I want to thank Randy and Janae Clipful, okay? Randy and Janae have helped us very much, you know, it's just been great to have them. Randy, they're going to donate a beautiful piano to us, an electric piano. Randy's dad was a music teacher, and he passed away sadly a little while ago, and had some equipment, so they're donating a great piano to the school. So thank you, Randy and Janae. I want to thank Jenny Wentz from Wentz Accounting. That's our accounting firm here in town. I want to thank First Farmers Bank. They've been fantastic. Carolyn guided me to First Farmers, you know, so that was great. And also I want to thank Gary from Hobgoblin. Gary used to let us do our live concerts there for free. So that was pretty tremendous. So that's the story of Universal Music Center, ladies and gentlemen. Here is a tremendous story. I want to ask a friend of mine, one of our students, Joe Bigelki, to stand up, please. There's Joe. Joe is not shy about I put that piece of paper because it's blinding me. Joe is not shy about the fact that he has high-functioning autism, okay? And Joe had a tragedy in his family and wanted to write a song about your cousin, right? Your uncle. So he was trying to write this song about his uncle that passed away. And he was struggling with the song, and he met Susan at his church, and Susan brought him here to Universal Music Center. Well, he has flourished in ways that you cannot believe as a songwriter and composer. He studies music not only with us, but he studies at McPhail, the McPhail School of Music. He does online courses with songwriters in Nashville, and recently he entered a contest in Nashville, a songwriting contest. Oh, here we go.
I didn't enter the contest. The music industry nominated my song out of 8,000 and over 5,000 members worldwide in our organization.
Did everybody hear that? Yeah. So Mark worked with him with the song. You know, Joe came in with the demo and the song in the version that he had when he wrote it, and Mark worked with him. And I want to ask Anna Filkins to stand up, please. Anna? Anna sang all the tracks on this. She created her own choir by singing on multi-tracking. Mark played all the instruments on this and produced it, but it's all Jay's composition. Mark just took what Jay wrote and turned it in. Joe, I'm sorry, okay. They know. I'm sorry, it starts with a J, but okay. So anyway, so what you're going to see is the finished product, and this is Anna singing. Mark sings a little bit on it, and Mark played all the instruments, as I say. And Claire, the woman I talked about earlier that does our social media, created this presentation that you're going to see. And this is the song that got nominated. And also, this guy got on the phone, all on his own or email. Did you email or on the phone?
I Facebook message WCCO.
Yeah, I'll tell you. So he reaches out to WCCO just on his own, and he says, you know, I'm in this contest. I have high-functioning autism. I have a story that you might be interested in. They come down here to Red Wing with a film crew, and they filmed him, and they did an interview. They interviewed his mom, and they interviewed him, and they played it on the 10 o'clock news, and then repeated it the next day on the morning news. So that's a pretty great, tremendous achievement. So Joe does not stand still. Joe's a worker. Thank you, Joe. All right. Well, let's enjoy this song, okay?
Looking out my window, not much has changed. Every morning it seems like the same. Things get harder day by day, but one night was different when I heard Jesus calling my name. For years as time passes, I'm searching for you, looking for signs in all that I do. Sometimes I get wrapped up in myself when I feel so alone. Oh Lord, you are my hour of darkness, you help through it all. Near me, Lord Jesus, I will give you a call. 'Cause you are a friend of mine. Fall to my knees and I begin to pray. God, heal my heart, take my pain away. Let me hear angels singing the joyful refrain. I will give thanks and praise to your blessed and holy name. Oh Lord, you are my friend above all. In my hour of darkness, you help through it all. Near me, Lord Jesus, I will give you a call. 'Cause you are a friend of mine. In the darkness I feel your spirit draw nigh, like a cross on the church in a sunset sky. Lord, you are a friend above all. In my hour of darkness, you help through it all. Be near me, Lord Jesus, I will heed your call. Because you are a friend above all. You are a friend above all.
Stand up, Joe. Come on, give him a big round of applause. Great job, Joe. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Claire. Fantastic.
Oh, yeah, lucky. Yeah, lucky. Lucky.
get